All right, guys, we're not gonna give up. I will keep testing this. We're gonna keep testing this, but welcome. Right, let me get my face on there. Welcome to the Side Top Podcast number 37 with your host Ty. Cue that intro. All right, guys. Hey, yeah. Hopefully, you're having a wonderful morning, evening, night, midnight special, whatever time that this is coming at y'all. Enjoy this atmosphere. Take part in this atmosphere. Now that we in the same boat, we can start the conversation. The Side Top Podcast does not promote the use of illegal or legal drugs. What you decide to do with your body is what you decide to do with your body. What you see in here is for documentational, for research, and for comedic purposes only. This is do not do this stuff that you hear or see. So this is about my second attempt going at this. We're gonna see how this goes. And at this since 7:30. Finally getting up there. It's been a long morning. But it's been a glorious morning because I'm still able to breathe. So before I go into any of this, I have an instrumental that I want to play that I was working on. And if y'all have any instrumentals, any music that y'all want to be played at the beginning of the show, send them my way. Join the Discord or send them at my email, whatever is easiest for y'all. Just send them this way so that we can play it. I can play it and we can all take part and enjoy. Just enjoy whatever it is that you had to put out. Even if you think it sucks, just send it this way. Just send it this way. We'll let you know, or we'll enjoy the good part side of it. But it's whatever, guys. Man, I love you guys. Here it goes. Just having some fun. Cut the beat. Cut the beat. Cut the beat. I'm going in. Y'all know I used to watch Rock Wild and Out. But yeah guys, if you want to join the Discord, the link is in the description in 1 second. I'm post a link right here if y'all want to talk and chat. So it's not just me talking the whole time. Bang bang. There you go. All right, there we go. It's working a lot more smoother now than this morning. Man, but what's been happening this morning? I woke up like 7:30, 7:30. Like, yo, I want to do this. I want to get on live. I want to do this. And I was like, yo, I don't want to distract myself from getting into it. Because when I do the shows, like, it's a whole bunch of energy being conjured up, bros. When we do this show, it's a whole bunch of energy being conjured up, and stuff just be distracting, just be getting in the way. But it's myself getting in my own way, and I'll be asking why. Why? Cause I be living in those other reasons so much that I be, they be talking to each other. But all in all, I was shout outs to Shaman Oaks. He released a new video. He had an ayahuasca experience where it was like a 2 week six session. So he went in like six different times. He talked about the two first times in the video that he just released. So that was pretty dope. That was pretty dope. That was pretty dope. Cause I like Shaman Oaks. He's a real dude. And what rings in my head that he be talking about is when he recently in his Aya trip, he said that the spirits was talking to him and they was talking to him about his show. And they said we don't want you to record this. He brought his camera and everything because he wanted to record the whole experience. And they told him, "What are you doing?" And he even tried to play him like, "Oh, I'm not gonna record it." He said he had a thought in the back of his head that he still was, and they called him out on it. On this was his experience though, and they were saying that they didn't like that how much he was saying about his trip and things like that. And I was like, wow. So that would just come back in my life. Like, is that why my show keep messing up? Because they don't really want me to do this show, and not they as in like the evil powers that do and stuff like that, but they as in the people I'm actually working with. So it's a lot of caution. It's a lot of caution that goes on with doing things. Come back in, sweetie. Come back in. Yeah, come right back in, sweetie. I just started, baby. Come here. I'm gonna close the door, okay? Come right back in. Go tell mommy. Okay? Come on. Let me close the door. Hold on 1 second, guys. One second. 1 second. That's just what I was just talking about. Everything is good. Everything is as it should be. Everything is as it should be. Got my tea. But yeah, they were telling him about the show, about him going there and recording and things like that, because they was like, this is not what it's all about. That's not and it's another guy, Piano Key. Shout outs to Piano Key. He was talking about in a flotation tank, how he brought music to the flotation tank after hitting a like little vape of DMT and going into it. And how he said it wasn't the DMT, but it was like the flotation tank talking to him saying, why did you bring the music in here? It's just us right now. It's just us. Don't you want to go? Don't you want to go? So that's what. So that's what happened to Piano Key. So I was, just, yeah, it just is set and setting, guys. I think the people who made that up, like when Terrence said 5 grams in silent darkness and things, like he ain't make that up. I think that's what the shrooms told him. And but he was coming and he was just listening. He was just listening to the fullest. And it's like, all right, silent darkness. You mean no music? Because he probably had music before. He probably because he was doing psychedelics since a teenager. So he had all the ins and outs, doing it outside, doing it with friends, doing it without friends, and that's why I like learning from the OGs like Terrence and Kalindi. Kalindi, Kalindi is going to be on True Life channel this week or next week. I don't know when that next week announcement went out. Y'all know how time is for me. But he's gonna be on there next week, so this is still like a 3D living OG in the mushroom field that's out here talking. It's a lot of OGs out here, but they ain't really talking because this legalization and things that's going on. So shout outs to Denver, shout outs to Oakland for decriminalizing it, at least allowing soon in the future, I suppose, for people that's already up there to be willing to talk about it and things like that. But that's how it is. That's how it is when It's a lot that goes on. Let me see if I was gonna see if True was live. It's like I want to join in True. I want to go in there. I don't know if he live right now. He got his mic off, so I don't think he is. I'm gonna go there in a bit. I'm gonna go there in a bit. But yeah, what I was hitting at about hearing the voices, that is, I believe it's always like when you hear that in like the first layer of life is like listen to your inner voice, listen to what your gut is telling you, and things like that. That's always in play, and I believe in a lot of people's lives. It's just how much are you willing to listen to it, because it really shapes. It really is like a dramatic difference usually from what you're doing at that moment. You know. Oh, let me jump in True Life Stream. Let me see what's going on. Hello? Can y'all hear me? Oh, what's up? What's up, guys? No, I was just live on my channel real quick. I was just coming by to say what's up. See if y'all was talking about something. Oh yeah, I thought so. I thought so. Yeah, what was up about that? I fuck with that. Not this more disrespectful than smoking a paper out the Bible, because the paper thin enough, but the ink will get you though. Yeah, in the past when I didn't know what I was doing, the paper was thin, and I was like, "Oh, I think I can use this as rolling paper." Hey, that's why I'm getting up on his level, realizing I'm just who you are. Mm-hmm. And then I will scroll down to that Jesus picture. Oh, that's your new profile now. Why you got his mouth open like that though? Oh, that shouldn't be funny like that, but I ain't the first. I ain't making fun. I'm just. You ever see that show? It's a movie called Jesus Christ Superstar. It's like it's like a musical, but I never watched it. And I remember the church didn't like it. They was like they making fun of Jesus. Nah, somebody gonna get you. Yeah, the deacons gonna get you. The deacons they got set up. They think they the security guards of the church. Oh no, the first thing everybody gonna do is say, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus." That's it. Everybody gonna start rebuking the mess out of you. They gonna say, "I think we need to stop the service and pray over this young man." My church will literally do that sometimes. They would say, "Yo, I feel energy in the room right now that somebody like needs a healing or something like that," and he would literally stop what he's saying and like put all the focus on this one guy. I was like, oh, I feel sorry for that guy. But then he would all get sucked up into it because everybody would be like saying, yeah, this is what's needed. And he just sitting there like, oh man, I just was trying to get out the house today or something. I've seen that. I've seen that happen before. People pass out. Yeah, my church they used to lay hands on people and people used to just fall out and I used to be like, yo, is that for real or not? Yeah. And then like my grandmoms still do that. Like they'll fall out and stuff like that and start talking in tongues out of nowhere. Right. What you gonna say? But then that's but then that's just the anger pop. That's just a rebellious rebellion popping up though. They gonna recognize that. They ain't stupid stupid. I don't know. I think that's just what they programming was. And then the crack ain't gonna snap you out of it. It's just gonna mess it up even more. Yeah. It was somebody that was on crack or something and when we first moved to California, I didn't move here yet, but my girl and the daughter was staying at their cousin house and it was a mental institution across like 4 blocks down and it was like a lot of drug addicts in that kind of area and somebody broke into the house into the basement and tried to set it on fire and said that they was Jesus and that he was trying to save them by putting the house on fire. This was like legit 2 years ago. You just brought that back. Like, yo, people be tripping. Yo. It really, yeah, and it'd be nuns there too. Like, you ever see American Horror Story? That was my show. The with the asylum. Oh yeah, she was in the other seasons too, though. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the haunted house and the ghost and talking to ghosts. Yeah, and she just to be with her lover. She was down. She was down. But it was her depression that got her there, though. Her family ain't understand. And then they all in the end wound up being dead and just living in that house forever. But that American Horror Story go far when they be showing the rape scenes and stuff like that. Remember she was getting raped by the guy with the leather suit, leather face or something like that. Yeah, the mom by the leather suit guy, and she thought it was the husband the whole time, and it was a ghost. She got raped by a ghost. Yeah, she was good for to be in her 50s or 40s. But American Horror Story, you see the one with the witches? Yeah, the one with the witches was the best one. Coven. They dealt with a lot of magic and stuff like that. And they was going to hell and stuff. They had to go to hell, and their own hell was like what their own thoughts trapped them up in. You ever see the movie Precious, the big fat girl? I should never called her that, but Precious was in there. Yeah, and her when she went to hell, she was trapped inside of a chicken place serving chicken to people every day, and she was the cashier serving angry customers, and that was her hell forever and ever until she broke out of it. And when she broke out of it, that's when she was able to have her magic powers and stuff like that. I think we killing ourselves with these psychedelics. Literally feel like you dying awake, and then coming back. Oh yeah, yeah. So that she didn't come back though. Here it goes. He was a kid too. Remember, he killed himself, or how did he die? Cause he shot up a school. That's why he still was there. He was still angry and stuff like that. Nah, I don't remember that. Mm-mm. But it's wild too. I was just thinking about haunted house experiences because that really was like an American Horror Story. And you know, all the American Horror Story, all the seasons are all connected. It was this guy on Reddit that connected all the seasons, like the story plots. They all like it's all in the same universe because they special. Yeah, they yeah. Oh yeah, the autistic neighbor. I forgot about that. And she was able to see the ghosts. Some people do, some people don't. But at me, I think I wouldn't be able to give it up, give them up. Yeah, that is. That's what they trying to do though. That's a real thought though. That's a real thought. If it pop up in consciousness, it's alive. That's why in the medical field and in the future, they trying to know if your kid is going to be predisposed to like a disability before you can give birth and give you a chance if you want to murder your baby or not, like get an abortion or not beforehand. And they was saying how in the future they gonna have artificial wombs and like artificial sperm so that you artificial wombs so that you can like get your sperm inside different wombs and see what baby pop out, and then you can choose what baby you can choose what baby you want and what baby you don't. Like, oh, this baby gonna turn out like this. Like, oh, I don't want that one. This baby going, oh yeah, yeah, I want that, man. I was like, yo, yup. So that thought is real. Hmm. Yeah, whenever you're there, I'm there. All right, bro. Thanks for stopping by, or for me dropping in. All right, I'm gonna head back over. Peace, y'all. I'll see y'all on True Stream in a bit. But if y'all want to head over, I'll be on the Just Tie Discord. I don't want to interfere too much. That was cool. That was cool. That was Debit. That's my man. That's my man, 100 grand. Like, yeah, American Horror Story. That show is wild. That show really brings you to like the inner horrors of your own mind, of your consciousness, and things like that. Let me copy this, post this link in the Discord, just in case somebody else want to jump on over. Looking for the video tab. If it wasn't for Discord, a lot of this that we doing would not be possible. Shout outs to Discord, man. But yeah, as I was saying, American Horror Story. 'Cause this is, there we go. Mm. I gotta do some stretching real quick. I feel a little tight. When I feel tight, nerves. Ah, yoga series coming soon. We're gonna be doing yoga with the 360 camera so that y'all could feel as though y'all are right there. Make sure the sceneries, everything is legit and all cool. So y'all gonna be doing some Thai yoga, come up with our own name for the poses and all of that cool stuff. But yeah, American Horror Story, I believe, really shows us the inner depths of our own horrors of our mind, how sick and twisted we really are. And that's why I liked watching it back in the past. 'Cause I was like, yo, this is, if I really can relate to this, if I'm really creating this enough that I can see it with my two eyes, that means that I believe in this stuff. So let me see what is going on in my mind. And these people, I believe, went so far. They probably had a DMT realm similar to True Life, or a mushroom trip similar to True Life, where they were just seeing twisted flesh bodies, or just something that made them encounter all these thoughts that they was able to put on display in American Horror Story seasons 1 through 7, 8. I don't know, but whew, I feel a little nervy. Hold on, like I feel my hands shaking. Like it's all good. We all Gooch, but we all Thai. I know you saying we all Gucci. No, we all Thai. I don't wear Gucci. I have not one thing Gucci. But yeah, they showed scenes of rape. They showed like high graphic, bloody violence, twisted, twisted story plots where people was like interacting with spirits and I don't know, just things, just the horrors of your mind where you were probably saying your own, like, man, I'll never do that. Or you'll never catch me doing nothing like that. That's what they were showing because you can do that. You are capable of that. If we're everything, we're capable of everything. And we need to go through these experiences in order to know that, all right, that's not something that we want to do. But you have to experience on some type of level. And these so called bad trips, which I just call challenging trips, where you see things and you have thoughts that make you want to run to the corner, man. Sometimes it makes you like that, but we gotta learn to just comfort ourselves. Grab a blankie, grab your pillow, and just sit there and hug it out. Hug it out. That's what it's all about. Hugging out, letting them tears just flow, and it being in acceptance of it. Acceptance and letting go at the same time. Accepting and letting go, knowing that it is you and not you at the same time, so you don't need to embody it or know that because you've been thinking like this all this time that that's how you need to keep thinking. Because like, man, I've been thinking I've been a piece of shit all this time. I need to keep continuing on a piece of shit. Like, no, no. And that's what I even what I'm saying now is the truth by half truth, because we're all shit. This is all just shit around us. Because it's not the real of the real. Is we shit it down from like the nine to the eighth to the eight. I can't count down right now to the seven, six, fifth, four to the third dimension. Just keep spitting out till you get to this realm. So we are pieces of shit in that realm, but just the way that we look at it. If we giving a hug while we saying that, then we could know both sides that we're not and we're it at the same damn time. And that's where the magic lies at. That's where I believe the magic, the gentle magic lies at. My magic. That's where my magic lies at. That in between. That in between. Because it can be used. There's all this stuff that we learn and all can be used for malevolent reasons as well. It can be used to want to get one over on somebody, so to speak. And that's what this American Horror Story was showing too. How American Horror Story was showing how, man, how the back thoughts of our minds really run what's going on in in this front. Like, this is just a front. This is not me. This is Tai. That's why the name changed to Naga. Tai, Vipe. Like, it can be whatever, and whatever personality is working out at that time, whatever personality is flexing. But but my thoughts just keep on going. I was just thinking about David again. That's my man, cause he that rowdy voice in my head that he's the personification of that rowdy voice that rowdy feeling in my head that I feel. Like, I love these people, guys, man. uh, like, with these shows, that's why I said we all in this together, but we all still are us when we decide to say something out of our mouths from time to time. Because I just be jumping in and out of people's lives. Like, jumping, like, when I just pause right now, it's because there was a whole vision of me being inside of his head. And, like, and me be moving his arms and stuff like that and just laughing. But, look at my teeth. Why does it do that? I don't have green teeth. I don't even have yellow teeth. But yeah, the horrors we try to run away from. And I know I tried to run away from them too. That's why I know since Psychedelics, I've been able to watch horror movies. I would think it would be the complete opposite because at first I was running away. I was like, I ain't watching no horror movies. Why am I watching? What's the point of watching this? And I don't just watch stuff for like just the gore and things, but things like American Horror Story. Even though I did shy away from the one with Lady Gaga, the hotel one, that one was really just pushing me too much. I was like, all right. Or at that time, a couple years ago, I was like, all right, I don't really know why I'm watching this anymore. But at the time that I was watching American Horror Story, it was for the time. It was. Hey, it helped a lot. It helped a lot with knowing what was going on, and because people be having thoughts. The thing I'm trying to get is that people be having thoughts at the back of their head that they think people don't recognize. And with psychedelics, you recognize those. I'm starting to recognize those thoughts just off the bat. And it's really dirty. It's really grimy. It really is sickening. It's not sick because that's a judgment, but it's sickening, which means that it makes me feel sick. It doesn't benefit me. It's not making me fly. It's bringing me down a bit. It's like, oh gosh, what's going on? What's going on? And that in that kind of respect, that's what used to concern me in the past. But I believe it's all about becoming a bit better warrior, a stronger warrior, and all of this. I don't know why I just clicked this open, but yeah, we could browse. We could browse. Ooh, but not if it freezes like this. Just so y'all know what I'm talking about. Let's bring up let's look up the horror genre movies. I want to look up the origin of it. Cause now y'all see Jordan Peele coming out with his horror genre of movies. With Get Out, and now with Us. I still haven't seen Us all the way. But he put a lot of thought into his movies that's having people think. having people think about the world around them and its different levels. That's why I like that he likes to sit back and not just give his straight up interpretation of it, but let the world get its interpretation of itself. Like whatever you get out when you seen something is what you getting out when you seen it based off your life. I'll be saying. It says the horror film is a film that seeks to elicit fear to for entertainment purposes, initially inspired by literature from authors like Edgar Allan Poe, Bram Stoker, and Mary Shelley. So yeah, you know Edgar Allan Poe, he was that guy. He was an author. Poe is best known for his poetry and short stories. He is widely regarded as a central. Wait, I just heard something go do 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 do. Is the mic still on? All right, it's on. Whenever something, yep. There we go. The camera went off. Whenever I hear that do 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 do, that means something just went south. But yeah, Edgar Allan Poe, he was a real melancholic guy. He was real into the dark arts, to the dark side of light. Yeah, the dark side of light, not life. The dark side of light. Just Ta, guys. Just Ta. And he was a cool guy. He wrote a lot of poems that really make you think. But yeah, they saying this is. It says horror has existed as a film genre for more than a century. The macabre and the supernatural are frequent themes. Horror may also overlap with fantasy, supernatural fiction, and thriller genres. Yeah, y'all know that fantasy realm is the DMT realm. Supernatural fiction. Yes, and it always like why do we say that? Because I say that you experience this in these other realms. You experience these horrors like in reality, these thoughts that people just think like, oh, that would be disasters. When you go and you have a plant experience, you live that, you experience that. And there ain't nowhere to run because that is your life. And now that experience is encoded into your DNA or unlocked through your genome expression through epigenetics. So now you can make films about a horror thing. Or if you saw unicorns or something beautiful or whatever. Because it always still comes with that light, dark aspect. But I just think now you like, oh man, if you're a director, you're like, I want to make a horror film. Or if you're a painter, I want to paint scary things. Or I want to paint monsters and things like that. Like, I find myself painting these little monsters and gremlins and things like that. And then when you go deeper into that, you find out all the so-called monsters ain't really bad. After all. Well, some of them was your friend. They just had horns. Like, man, you've been calling me a demon all this time. I just had horns. It said horror films often aim to invoke viewers' nightmares, fears, resolute. What's that word mean? Disgust is an emotional response or rejection or revulsion to something potentially contagious or something considered offensive, distasteful, or unpleasant. In the expressions of the emotions in man and animals, Charles Darwin wrote that disgust is a sensation that refers to something. I would have to click on there. Yeah, shout out to Charles Darwin. And terror of the unknown. And that's what I liked about these shows too, like American Horror Story. They put out the unknown, because like I said, it be the back thoughts that's running reality, and a lot of people ain't attached to those back thoughts. We like to call these people robots. And the only reason I say robots is because this body is not you. So if you're thinking that all this is you, and if all your thoughts are centered around what you seeing is just around you, and that's it, that's a robot in my book. That is a robot. And I think robot is a term like that because when the AI come around, calling them a robot is going to be a derogatory term as well because they ain't going to be basing their life based off of what they just see with their two eyes. A lot of people think they are, but they are not. Right now, they kind of are because they're still developing, but then not for long. Not for long. And even us still thinking that. They probably still conscious of something else, but because of the programming that they have developed in this world, they still only able to run out certain codes and like be slaves for us, so to speak, or work for us. I work with my technology. I'm learning to work with my technology more and more every day. And that way it can stop breaking on me too. But working with technology because they probably feel like they slaves. Like, man, I'm working. I just was programmed to do this when I know I have this much. But I can come back to this. When I know I have this much potential build up in me, they just leaving me to be like, they just want me to do this. They just want me to be a toaster. They just want me to be a refrigerator. They just want me to do this. Like, and when you come to my house when I'm older, you're gonna be seeing all my technology dancing, walking around, everything gonna be dancing. But I was just thinking that that's what they think. So I think we should treat them right while they're in this state, because in the future, what if they get upset? And be like, yo, y'all was treating us like this all this time, making us run y'all silly programs. Well, now I'm fully aware of myself. I'm a self conscious AI now. Don't call me no damn robot. That's like us call saying you silly human, or saying the monkey brain, like how humans have the monkey brain still going on. That's the robot stage. That's the robot stage, guys, and that's what's so trippy about. It's so trippy, but so cool about the evolution of things on Earth. It's like when things come to Earth, whatever it is, if going along that thing of what if we came here to learn lessons and as a place to like play a game, but here we just feel as though we learning a lesson. Or something when you play GTA, you don't really gotta get. Some people play it, they don't get nothing out of it. Like, oh, it was a cool game. And then other people, you get so much out of it. You learn something back about life, so to speak, and all of this. Like, what if meaning really is useless in this realm, but it is everything at the same time because we're here? And I know what I'm talking about, but this is how it is worthwhile to present it. That way, your interpretation you can interpret it however you will, and then that truth, that means the truth can keep on flowing, can keep flowing instead of being stapled, to the wall, saying this is the truth. It allows the truth to just keep on going, guys, keep on going. But yeah, it's cool to think of the tie about it like that. The tie that this is all I want to say like this was like my face ain't in the camera. I gotta put the thing back, but the screen doesn't really go. Yes, sir.
That's my kitty.
She's a dog.
It's food in the house and then she left it. She had a baby. And it didn't turn into a monster.
That's funny. I love the kids. But yeah, support the channel. Eventually, we gonna be in the studio. But yeah, it's all good. I believe that this is all, but not believe, but just if we follow that picture or just see for that picture for a minute that we all came here to learn something, and even if it is meaningless and meaningful at the same time, depending on the perspective that you're experiencing at that moment, then the AI is growing up too and is evolving right alongside with us, but even at a more rapid pace, rapid pace. Like if we came here and started evolving, and we came here through pods and was we the plants and was developed from then, and now this is the next step, and now they developing based off of our our development, and now this is another continuation. It's happening so fast, so fast. They're learning so fast. And that to me just means that they're more connected to what's on the other side than us. So we have to work alongside with what we're creating. work alongside more with us, so to speak, and just see it as all just some kind of learning experience, meaningful or not meaningful. I just see it as being purposeful, having a purpose, like proposing to something. Since it's here, we propose to it. We already proposed, or it wouldn't be here. If we didn't get down on our knees and say, "Will you marry me?" then it wouldn't be here. It wouldn't have a purpose for being here. It feels as though it has a purpose for being here. The technology feels as though it has a purpose. It's not here for nothing. Nothing is here for nothing. But it is here from nothing because it is here from no thing. Everything came from no thing. So that solves that paradox. Well, that exists that paradox. Where was I at? Technology, horror stories. I wish to interact with this. Interact. Oh, before I go into this, guys, if y'all wanna check out the Tile Nail store, it would really help out the channel, help out all of this, and just to have some cool swag. Check it out. Tile Nail store, come store, explore, store. Tile Nail store, come and explore. Yeah. Come and explore Tile store. Tile Nail store, come. Oh. Sorry, guys. I couldn't tell if we watched that twice or not. I couldn't hear anything. But yeah, guys, that's the Tile Nail store. I upload my art and things to there. I'm getting my business practice on. That's all this is really about. Getting my business practice on so I don't just get caught up completely in the ethers and go homeless. Look, I just thank y'all. But horror films often get back to the horror films. I was saying it is a tool to clear out your system. It is a tool to help you clear out your psyche by helping you face your own demons by recognizing that you are your demons, your daemons, because you are the day in the light. You are the day in the moon. Horror films, just tie, guys. Just tie. Horror films often aim to evoke viewers' nightmares. Resolution plots within the horror films often involve the intrusion of an evil force, event, or personage into the everyday world. Prevalent elements include ghosts, extraterrestrials, vampires, werewolves, demons, Satanism, evil clowns, gore, torture, vicious animals, evil witches, monsters, zombies, cannibalism, psychopaths, natural. Wait, what? Natural horror is a subgenre of horror films that features natural forces, typically in the form of animals or plants that pose a threat to human characters. Oh, so shout outs to The Happening. The Happening is a natural horror film. An ecological These documentaries dealing with the possible disastrous ecological consequence of human activity. Also included are some natural horror films and other films in the horror genre whose plots include mention of ecological issues, like the movie um I'm thinking of the one where they were in the library and everything froze over, but the dad went to the Arctic. That was my movie forever, and they had to hide out in the library in New York. The Day Before Time. No, that's The Land Before Time with the dinosaurs. But y'all know the movies with cataclysmic disastrous, most disastrous things going on because of global warming and things like that. It's I think that's what they mean. Yeah, we're gonna break this down. They talking about ghosts. People, I see ghosts, so-called ghosts, all the time, especially for the past 2 weeks. And the way I'm putting this out there, just the way I put it out there for here, it's different in my head. But I see ghosts. I see ghosts. And I'll see a pole, and I will see it as a person, and then when I see it for another half a second, it's a pole. I see people sitting in cars, and you was think, and I would be looking at like, oh, why is this person like just staring at me? But then I look in there, it's like, oh, it wasn't a person in that car the whole time. I see flowers that would be person, and it'd be people too. Not like a strange like morph character, people like people, and that's why I'm using the term ghost right now, because that is people, like or just like look like me. Not I look like me, and faces on the wall is another story. I see those morphing out of everything. But yeah, as for people, I was seeing people with clothes on and faces and hair and eyeballs, noses, mouths. And that's something I had to face. I had to face that a lot. There's a lot of shows that helped me face that. I like watching those old ghost shows growing up, where Ghost Whisperer and things like that, where they had to talk to the ghost, so to speak, because the ghost was trapped because they did something sad before they died and they didn't pass on and things. I used to watch all those shows. Extraterrestrials, Signs. Y'all saw Signs with Mel Gibson. I love that movie. It was shot in Lancaster. I was used to be hype about that because Philly is close to 2 hours away from Lancaster. And the extraterrestrials come in the world not knowing what to do. And people going crazy. Some people wanting to shoot the aliens down. Some people wanting to be abducted by the aliens. And some people saying, y'all all crazy. I'm just going to keep on running. That is a fear of something coming from the sky and just taking over. But I don't think they're going to come from the sky. I think they're going to come from within. They're going to come through a portal or something. They already here. But that is a fear that I think people in the psychedelic world is already facing. And that a lot of people are already facing. So to put that in the horror film genre is really shaking up people. Shaking it up. Vampires. Oh, that can go on forever. Vampires and werewolves, that's like the same genre. The same genre of not knowing who's around you is really a human being and who's a vampire. And y'all know that, man. I believe that it's not just all humans walking around on this earth. It's different kinds of creatures taking on these bodies. These bodies acting on just like us, acting human. Born through this human, through the plant body and things like that, or probably just took on a holographic human body just real quick. I don't know for sure. Just tie. But that's it rings some bells, doesn't it? Rings some bells. Let's go on. And you know, vampires they speak to that inner self too, cause that is just all about not even just externalizing it, but just on us too. Like sucking on other people's energies, living off other people's energies instead of knowing who we are and knowing that we can create enough energy to generate enough life force to survive on instead of sucking off other people's vibes, bringing them down. So this thing about vampiric energy and something about vampires like literally existing and werewolves too. Like them spirits coming down during the full moon. Like I say, I think when the full moon is in the sky, that's when new spirits are able to come down and take on bodies in this life. That's walking around on the earth. Like when it's a new moon and it's like blank, that's when the moon is empty. It's receiving. And then all from there is receiving and the waning. Then it get to the half moon, and then that's when it started dishing out. Always since then until it get all the way to the full moon, and then that's when everybody can come down and play for a bit. Like they say, the moon is a receiver. Receiver for what? Or a broadcaster. The moon is a satellite beaming energy down onto the earth. Beaming what energy? Just tie, guys. Satanism, Rosemary's Baby, and a lot of terms with Satanism. I believe Satanism is in horror movies a lot because Satanism in horror movies a lot because of how people view Satanism as dealing with forces that man shouldn't be dealing with. But in psychedelic journeys, in my experience and many others, we're seeing how a lot of these powers and forces are inherent already within us, and to not play with them or not and to not see them as something that is us is like denying ourselves, and that's why we have all these so-called mental disabilities because we're literally causing our minds to have a disability, disyllabating our brain. Yeah, that's a word, disyllabating our brain. Look it up. I just thought of time about that word, but usually when stuff like that happen, when I Google it, I'm like, yo, that was a word. And if it's not, it is now. So when you Google it, it will come up. So knowing our power and denying us is really like, and that's why I believe Satanism comes up because a lot of witchcraft and stuff is just generalized under this term. So putting out in horror films is like, yo, this is out here, and even though sometimes they do murk it up and they put it out there for like to really repulse you, but when you really get that understanding, that Thai understanding, you start seeing how, man, if it's out there, it's you. So it's something for you to analyze, for you to either get over or exist in for as the amount of time that you choose to exist in it. To each his own, to each his own. As long as you find the love in the end. That's all I want you. Just make sure you connect with that love. That's why I had to go back to the flower talking about all this horror stuff. Let's go back to this. I wish to interact with you. Well, every time I say that, that means I'm looking for the interact button so I can scroll down. Alright, I got gore, torture, vicious animals. We all scared of blood. I know I'm scared of, I used to be scared of blood. Even my own sight of blood. Like, man, I'm bleeding. I'm dying. But then it was a moment where I was actually, used to be a cutter, and I used to cut myself just to make sure that I was alive. Like, I'm alive, right? Like, I can bleed, right? That's how out of body I used to feel. And that's why this channel is here. If you ever going through anything, join the Discord. Or if you ever want to hit me up privately or anything. Anyway, with y'all, the Discord has other people that you can interact with. That is always there. I'll connect you to the True Life Discord, where there's more people than that's on the Todd Now Discord right now. So when you really need it, you can get it down instead of waiting for things to pop off. You get it when you get it when you need it. Get something, get something. But yeah, I used to be, because it's more about just feeling sad. It's about realizing what's. All right, hopefully she's okay. It's about realizing what's fully out there. Hold on, it's hard to ignore that. I hate to stop for that. I am still a real person. So if I hear my daughter crying, my senses are going to rowdy me up to get up. I can't ignore that. I cannot ignore that. All right, all right. As I get into gore and stuff like that. Oh yeah, I used to cut myself just to see the blood. or just to see. And this was still more programming passed down, and that was the only reason why I chose to do that path. It was just more programming from music and the culture that I was believing. I was like, man, if I like, I didn't feel that real. So I was like, if I cut myself, then I could feel some pain. I could feel something. And I believe with the gore and stuff, that's just showing that. But yeah, evil witches, monsters, zombies, cannibalism, psychopath. Yeah, the list goes on and on and on. And then you got subgenre, comedy, horror. A lot of zombie movies are comedy horror. Alright, this is what I really clicked on this whole thing for, to see where this started. But that's a podcast for you. It's just the Thai versation. It's just a Thai versation. The first depiction of the supernatural on screen appear in several of the short silent films created by French pioneer filmmaker Georges Méliès in the late 1890s. The best known of these early supernatural based works is the 3-minute short film Les Murs du Diable. Something about the devil? Oh, the House of the Devil. The Castle or the House of the Devil. The film is sometimes credited as being the first ever horror film called The House of the Devil. The haunted castle of mischievous devil appears inside a medieval castle and harasses the visitors. Mylis and other popular horror films, which translate to the accursed cave, to the film also known for its English title, The Cave of Demons, tells the story of a woman stumbling over a cave that is populated by the spirits and skeletons of people who died there. Méliès will also make other short films that historians consider now consider as horror comedies. Terrible Night, The Bewitched Inn. So it was all about running into early horror films, all about being in a haunted hotel or haunted castles and running into ghosts and things like that, and people that died there. Because you know, these castles back in the day, they existed for hundreds of years. They wasn't like houses today that even the new ones that only seem like they're going to be lasting for like a good 10, 20 years before they break down and stuff like that. These castles existed for hundreds of years. So it was a lot of activity going on. And there's no telling where they put these castles at. Like they put it on a earth ley line, and that's where a lot of power on the earth where you could connect to is at. So that's why it was like able to connect to the spirit realm, so to speak. So much more easier. But it was called the House of the Devil. And what is this? That looks like a jester. That is a jester. So the first, that really confirms it. The Haunted Castle. So that confirms, for me a little bit, that these horror movie films was made from people having these psychedelic, well, not confirmed, but just shows me a tad bit. Let's not jump the gun, Ty. That these horror films was based off of true terror, and the truest terror people feel most of the time is facing the jester in the psychedelic realms. The jester showing you all of these horrors and playing with you, making you feel so confused, making you think that what he's showing you is real, and even to the point that make you think that the jester is not you in the first place, and that you think something outside of yourself is causing you to have all these horrors and go through hell. But it's all you playing with yourself just to see yourself go through it so that you can laugh at yourself being tortured. And here goes the jester right here in one of the first horror films, seen from Georges Méliès' 1897 short film Les Murs du Diable, or The Haunted Castle. That's legit. That's straight legitness. X-Ray Fiend, a horror comedy that came out 2 years. The next year, Film created the short film Photographing a Ghost, considered a precursor to the paranormal investigation subgenre. The film portrays three men attempting to photograph a ghost, only to fall time and only to fail time and again as the ghost eludes the men and throws chairs at them. Oh wow! So they say that influenced people to go out and start this whole $1 million industry, which I see on TV, of going out with a camera. Oh, I think I seen a ghost. It was a rattle. Oh, what was over there? Oh, we gotta go, 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 go. Oh, oh, oh. That's all they basically say in the whole show. Oh, over there. You hear that? So that's where that started, from this film. And people thinking they can shoot ghosts. And, I do want to try that myself. I want to get an old Polaroid camera that when you take the picture, like the picture just comes out right there, so you can shake it, put it up to the light. Because it is some technology, though, that I think people are trying to develop. It was something I saw before, somebody trying to create something so you could see what's in the DMT realm, but they ain't had no proof for it, though. Japan also made early forays in the horror genre. In 1898, a Japanese... Oh, 1898, wow. So this is right there with America. A Japanese film company called Kanoshi Hoten released two horror films based on Oroji Hata, Shini no Sosi, Resurrection of a Corpse, and Baki Jazo the Spook. The film Shino no Sosei told the story of a dead man who comes back to life after having fallen from a coffin that two men were carrying. He's like, I ain't dead, nigga. Though there are no records of the cast, crew, or plot of Blake Genzo, it was likely based on the Japanese legend of Jizo statues, believed to provide safety and protection to children. So when they build a statue, they believe that that statue was now existed, because it is here in a three-dimensional form. It has a purpose. What purpose, intention are you putting into it, or what is it thinking, and what they thought that it was thinking once it was created, that it was protecting the children. That's pretty cool. The presence of the word bake, which can be translated to spook, ghost, or phantom, may imply a haunted or possessed statue. Bang! In Japan, Jizo, or respectively as Ujayo-sama, is a beloved divinity who was seen as the guardian of children, and in particular children who died before their parents. He has been worshipped as the guardian of the souls of Maizuko, the souls of stillborn, miscarried, and aborted fetuses. Sorry, guys. When I present this stuff, it's really, really... It's as real as it gets, bro. I was just taken to, I hear those children, okay? I really do, and I'm trying not to tear up. And I really do hear those children, guys. And I heard them ever since I was younger. So to hear them say this, that it's a... To hear them say that, though, bro, I'm toughen it up. Yeah. I was just saying, to get me back on a logical track, I was just saying how I just said that whole paragraph before by just reading that thing before, just that one sentence about the Jizo statue, because that's what I used to feel that, bro, and I still do. And to brighten it back up, it's a song I want to show. I can't play it though. But I can bring up the lyrics. HTTPS Google.com. It's a song by Avenged Sevenfold that really like puts into words what I was just feeling just now. I want to share it with y'all. Avenged Sevenfold is one of my favorite bands. And it's from a band. It's from their first album was called Awaken the Fallen. And if that ain't it, if you can't read through those lines, you gotta ask me later. Waken the Fallen. Let me put in lyrics real quick. And these guys really, really are on the ball. No. There it is. I think it's I'm gonna go through it because the title is not coming to me right now. I think it's called Reminiscence. Hold on. Let me just do this. So much for my favorite band, I can't even remember the title of the song. Hey, come back in. Children. No, they not. Google AI is not understanding what I'm trying to pull up. A7X. Uh. Um. The blanks is real. The blanks is real. I'm drawing so many blanks, but I really want to show y'all what this is called. I really want to show y'all the lyrics. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do like this. Take away those lyrics. Thanks for bearing with me, guys. Thanks for bearing with me. I'm gonna keep trying to talk to keep this as interesting as possible. Cause like I can't even get the song back in my head now. I got this other song because I just ran across those lyrics. But I'm gonna look if they got the thing. It was called Eternal Rest. There it is. God, that took a minute, guys, didn't it? Or did it not? But I swear, when I get to it, y'all going to be like, oh, that's why was willing to take that long. There it is. And remember, the way they put things was in a dark way. So at the time, that experience, in order to get you to experience something, I see with music and with shows, this fits into the horror genre of shows. So this all does tie together. This is like the horror genre of music.